What's up, guys? This is going to be a tank review. I haven't done one of these in a while, but yeah, this is a tank review, and this is a KV-2 right here, as you can see from both the tanks. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the review. Talk about the armor first, then later on go to the garage and talk more about the tank. So let's go ahead and get started with the armor. As you can see right here, these are the armor zones. We got a 75 millimeters right here in the front plate right here. As you can see, it's kind of flat, so it's not too effective, but it's alright for lower tiers. But if you get to a tier side matchup, everybody's gonna pen you. So this thing that doesn't have too much armor, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go over the armor for you guys. As you can see, the lower plate's a little bit stronger right here, has a little bit more of an angle. It's about 105 effective armor, I would say, while the upper plate is about 85, I would say. At this angle anyway, you could angle it a little bit more. Try to get like as close as you can to like a 45 degree angle for optimum, bouncing chances of bouncing with angling. So you can see it gets a little bit more effective, but yeah, I wouldn't trust the armor too much on the KV-2 because we don't really play this tank because of the armor. We play it because of the gun right there, as you can see. We play for this 152 millimeter gun, which has a huge amount of damage with its derp shells, which are high explosive. So we switch to these right here. As you can see, they do a 910 damage, and that's just a regular. That's a flat roll. You could do way more damage than that. But yeah, this is pretty much what the tank is about. But like I said, the armor, it's really not that special. It's pretty much the whole of a KV-1. So that's a tier 5 tank, so it's not really that good. The turret is a little bit different. The mountlet, this thing could troll people a little bit. I mean, just look at it. Look how it looks. Just turn it. I mean, look at this thing. You can see that has that big old mantlet in the front. And there's some strong armor values. Look at this, like 240 and stuff. So I mean, if you look at it directly, I mean, look at that. You don't want to shoot through this. You might not pen. So I wouldn't even recommend shooting at the mantlet. But look at this right here. You got this nice flat area right here that you could easily pen with pretty much every gun that you're gonna face at the tiers. If you're using a tier 5, even the tier 5 could pen this thing right here. It's only 75 millimeters, 76, 77. It'll go straight through the turret right here on this lower part. If you see one right here, just shoot them right here and they'll pen every time. Don't shoot up here because you're most likely going to bounce. But like I said, even the whole armor, it's really not even that good. I mean, just look at it. Armor values ain't even that good. This part right here is actually kind of strong, which is the strongest part of the tank. As you can see, it's 115 millimeters thick. And yeah, look at it. It does get kind of troll a little bit. Look at that. It goes up to like 200 something over here. So if people shoot at this, then obviously you might bounce some shots, but no one's really going to shoot you there. They're just going to shoot either like your hole, these little weak spots right here, which haven't really talked about, but yeah, here are the weak spots for the tank pretty much. But I mean, you don't really need to shoot that. You can just shoot the turret right here and you'll just pen pretty much every time. And yeah, even with if you're facing another KV-2, if you're both using KV-2s and you derp them right here, there's a high chance you'll do like a full pen or one shot them. I've done that before. So yeah, this thing, KV-2 just isn't known for its armor. But I think that's all I really got to say about the armor. Turrets, not that good, just except for this mantlet area right here. Whole armor is the same as KV-1, which is tier 5 armor. So that's a level below, so not good. So overall, the armor is not that good, but I mean, it's okay, I guess. It's like, I would give it 5 out of 10 at the tier. I mean, it's not that good, but you could angle, maybe get some lucky bounces. Now we got these stats over here, these substats, just so you guys could take a look at them. Haven't done a review in a while, so I'm kind of rusty over here, so bear with me a little bit. But yeah, you can see, look at that damage per minute. If you land all your shots with the derp gun, you have a high DPM thanks to the high amount of damage this thing could dish out. But most of the time you're not going to do this much because you're going to be shooting high explosive. You don't really want to shoot AP because look at AP shells have only 110 pen. That's really poor. And gold rounds have 136, but not even much gold rounds. They're just AP rounds. So you can see it right here on top. So just another form of AP shells, not APCR, and it's only 26 more pen. What you really want to use is these shells right here, these orange shells, and I mean you're gonna do massive amounts of damage. It has 86 pen, which you could still pen some weaker tanks and one-shot them. Like tier 5 tanks, man, you're most likely gonna one-shot them if you shoot them in the right spot. But you know, if you're just shooting at them like straight down the middle, most likely you're just gonna hit the turret or something. You probably won't do a full pen, depending on what type of tank you're shooting. If you're shooting a tier 5 heavy tank, he's probably gonna survive. But if you shoot like their sides, like American tanks, you just do full damage and easily gonna be a one-shot kill. But look at this thing, explosion radius. Look at all this good stuff over here. Module damage. Look how high the module damage is. It's at 203 points, man. That's pretty strong right there. Like this shit will, you know, tear tanks up pretty much. If you stand in front of the tank and let it reload and just keep derping at you, this thing will do damage. It will do, the average roll is probably about like 300 to 400, about 350 every single HE shell. So, you know, that's a lot of damage right there. And you know, it fucks you up because it damages your modules. But you know, if you pen, you could do way more than 910. You could get up to like 1300 or something. I forgot the radius. Maybe like things like 1100. I forgot. But yeah, we'll go over that right now in the garage. You can see like the radius of how high the damage can hit. Yeah, it doesn't really tell me right here. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the armor. So we're gonna go to the garage right now and, you know, talk about the rest of the tank. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, I'm back. As you can see right here, this is my garage, and here's my KV-2. As you can see, it has three skill crew members. So you know, I used it a lot. It's all maxed out. I got, you know, BIA on the crew members. You know, I got it all pretty much. It's all strong, you know, pretty much. It's all roided up, you know what I'm saying? This thing's pretty godly right here with my little setup right now that I got. It's fully equipped, you know. I have it pretty much. It's like my perfect KV-2, you know. It's way better than a stock one. But yeah, let's go ahead and go over it. So as a KV-2 with top turret, you're gonna have 860 hit points, which is obviously HP. I'm not sure how much HP you have with the basic turret, but you know what, I'll just click it for you guys one time. 810, so 50 less HP, as you can see right there. Let me put back my load setup over here. It's all HE shells, as I was saying. That's all I shoot on this thing, and that's all I recommend you guys to shoot. For the weight, we got 53.7 out of 60.8. Yeah, no one really cares about that too much, so let's just move on. Engine power, we got 600 engine power, and that is obviously the top engine. You start off, I guess, with this one right here, which has 500 engine power, so it doesn't really get a huge, you know, horsepower increase, just about 100. But yeah, you don't really care too much about speed on this tank. I mean, this thing has a devastating gun, and that's pretty much what you want to do with this tank. You just want to use it and take cover, and yeah, just take cover, blast, take cover again, just rinse and repeat. But anyways, 35 is the top speed, which is, I say that's okay for a heavy tank, so I think that's okay. It's not terribly slow. Sorry about that. For the traverse speed, it's 18 degrees. Obviously, that's with the better tracks. The stock track 16 degrees, so that helps a lot. So you could turn a little better, but it's still pretty crappy at traverse speed. So don't expect this thing to turn really fast. I mean, it's a heavy tank, and you can see it's a pretty big heavy tank. For the whole armor, we already went over the whole armor and the turret armor, but here's the battle liter here, as you can see again. Now here's the standard shell damage, and that's regular AP shells, I think. Let's go ahead and go on to the gun right here so you can see right here. So here's the average damage, and yeah, 700. That's with the derp gun, which is what I got right here, and that's with regular shells. With the HE shells that I'm using, it's 910 110 damage. I mean, that's like the average. But like if you check right here, look at that. Put my mouse over here, and you can see right there it says 683 through 1138. Now that's pretty much the range right there. You know, you can hit as low as 683 if you pen, but you can hit as high as 1138, which is huge amount of damage if you actually penetrate your target. So like I said, this thing's pretty scary with its HE shells and this massive 152 millimeter. Just a godly gun at tier 6. you know, massive amounts of damage. Um, Alright, we already went over the damage. The pen. This is the pen right here, 65 through 108 with HE shells. Now you don't even care about this pen. Like, don't even care about the pen of the HE shells, because every single time you shoot at someone, you're always gonna do damage no matter what, unless you hit like a unlucky spot. Like if you shoot like the manlet, sometimes like really strong heavy tanks will actually absorb the damage, or you'll barely do any damage at all. But most of the time, if you shoot at a target, you know, just at their hole or something, you'll do at least the minimum, I say 200, but most of the time you're going to be, and that's again like against strong heavy tanks, but you know, against like average targets, you're going to be doing like 350, maybe even up to 400 damage each shot. So this thing packs a punch with its HE shells, like I was saying, and yeah, you don't want to be messing around with it. You don't even want to care about the penetration. Like I said, don't be using this these AP shells. I mean, these are just shitty. I mean, come on. Barely any pen. I mean, wow, they actually go up to 170 on the range, but you're not really, you know, you're just gonna bounce if you try to use those AP shells. If you want to, go ahead and try them, but I guarantee you're not gonna do much damage. Again, unless you're playing against a really low tier target, you'll actually be able to pen them. But if you're playing against the tier 8s, oh man, you're gonna be mad, because all your shells are gonna be bouncing. You know, you're gonna be pretty sad, because you're gonna be shooting at them with this huge ass 152 millimeter. And you're not going to be doing any damage. The shells are going to be ricocheting off, because it's only 136 pen with your gold ammunition and 110 pen with regular ammunition. None of that, those two values that they're really shitty against tier 8 tanks, which this tank will face. But when you have HE shells, you know, it doesn't even matter. You could get into a tier 8 match and you could do, like, just the other game I did like 1,500 damage or something like that in a tier 8 match. I was just derping at them pretty much. All I did was just fully aim, shoot them, and then get in cover. Just back up, you know, hide, so they won't shoot back. You won't get no damage back. And you know, I ended up with 1,100 damage in the game, which is, I mean, it's not really that much, but I mean, this is a material game. You know, I'm inflicting good amount of damage on tanks, and that was a couple tanks too. I shot a couple of them, like 3 or 4. So at tier 8, this is what you want to have right here. You want to have these shells, so even the tier 8s, you know, will fear you. They'll see you, and then they'll be scared, you know, until you shoot. Once you shoot, then they'll come after you and try to kill you quick before you reload, because this thing has a long reload time. As you can see right there, look at that, 19.81, and this is with a maxed out crew. This is with Brothers in Arms, with ventilation, with gun rammer. It's pretty much all suited up. And look at this, 121% crew. I mean, this is all suited up right here, pretty much. And this is 19.81 seconds, all suited up. If without the crew, this thing would probably get to like, I think it's stock, it probably gets to like 23 or even more than that of the reload speed, which is really crappy. I mean, look at that, 2.5 rounds a minute. That's so shitty right there. But I mean, it's worth it for this damage. I mean, this thing can inflict so much damage, and it has a good amount of hit points. The armor, like I said, is not that good, but you can get some lucky bounces. So it could take a couple shots, but most likely, yeah, you don't really want to take any shots. You just want to dump on them, get in cover, and rinse and repeat. Wait till you reload and blast them again. And obviously, you're taking out their modules and stuff, crew members. This thing, it just tears apart tanks with its high caliber gun with these HE shells. But yeah, what else? For the turret traverse speed, as you can see, this is 16 degrees, which obviously is not that good. It turns turret very slowly, and stock turret's 14 degrees. So I mean, like I said, this is a heavy tank. Don't expect fast traverse speeds for turret or your hull, because you know, it's a heavy tank. It's not meant for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not meant to have speedy type of traverse speed. You know what I'm saying? This is a heavy tank, and it's meant to kind of be a brawler, but take cover and brawl. This thing is take cover and brawl. This thing's not made to stand and bang because of its reload. If this thing had like a nice, maybe even a 10-second reload, would really help it all out. But this would be overpowered, because I mean, massive ass gun, inflicts plenty of damage. You know, this thing scares tier 8s. Like, imagine being top tier in this thing. This thing one-shots tanks. This is a scary tank right here, guys. Anyways, view range 330 is average or normal, I guess, when it's maxed out. Not suited up like mine. Mine's all suited up, so I got 353. So with 100% crew, it's just at 330 with nothing else on it, which is pretty crappy. I got 353. That's still pretty crappy, but I mean, like I said, it's a heavy tank. Who cares about view range? It's not a sniping type of tank. You're gonna move forward anyway. If you're sniping with this thing, I mean, you might be able to pull it off. This thing, I've done some troll sniping type of shots, you know, with this tank, but it's not meant for that, you know what I'm saying? This thing's meant to take cover behind buildings or rocks or something, shoot your opponent, and then get in cover real quick before they come back at you and shoot you. So yeah, but view range, yeah, we don't really have view range in this tank. You're pretty blind with most Russian tanks anyway. And yeah, let's just move on about that. Signal range 440. That's regular stock. I got 479. So you can see crappy view range and signal range. This is not meant for that. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Let's just move on. No one cares about signal range anyway. Equipment. This is what I have right here. Large caliber tank gun rammer. Sorry about that. Ventilation and handgun lane drop. Now these are mandatory equipment for this thing. This thing has a huge aiming time. Look at the gun right here. 4-second aiming time. Okay. You need this. You need this right here to reduce it by 10%. Plus 10% aiming speed. Yeah, you need this thing. So you need this. This is a mandatory equipment. The EGD right here. You need this mandatory. This thing I would say is also mandatory. Plus 5% to all crew skills. This thing will overall make the tank better. Will increase the reload. Just will overall increase a better feel for the tank. The tank will just run smoother. It will just seem better all around. So you need that. And these are mandatory equipments. If you put something else, then I think you guys are fucking up, or you guys are doing a weird layout, because these are mandatory, standard, good equipment right here that you should put on your tanks. Most of them. Sorry about that, guys. Cut off. So I've been rambling for a little bit. That was a 10-minute video. Anyways, let me try to finish this video off quick, so I don't gotta make another one. Yeah. So I left off right here. This is a large caliber tank gun rammer, and obviously this is very mandatory. I mean, come on. You have to reduce your reload, because look at the reload on this thing. It's already at pretty much 20-second reload. Why do you want to have crappier reload? So this is mandatory. You got to have that on. This is just what I have right here, consumables or whatever. Now for the crew, basic, heavy tank type of crew stuff you want to put repairs. I do a different type of loadout. I like putting mentor, so I can level up my rest of my crew members faster. I got snapshot to help out a little bit with my shots when I turn my turret and whatnot. Increase the accuracy. I also got repairs. That's mandatory. Now for the gunner, yeah, snapshot's a good skill. Let's go ahead and look through it real quick. Designate target. This could be a little bit useful if you're trying to snipe with it or something, but yeah. I'd say go with snapshot first over that. Deadeye, now this I would think would help a lot, but it doesn't work with AT shells, so sadly we can't take advantage of this. It only works with AP, APCR, and heat shells, and we don't shoot that with this tank pretty much, so don't get that. Armor, I mean, improves accuracy of damage gun. Well, yeah, that could help also, but I would go with these first that I got right here. As for driver, I got this right here, preventative maintenance, so this tank won't catch on fire. I mean, it's a Russian tank, they kind of catch on fire a lot, so yeah, this will reduce my chances. And I got clutch braking, which increases the traverse speed, so I can move around a little bit, feel a little bit more agile on there. These are good skills also, off-road driving, but smooth ride, I mean, improves accuracy when firing on the move. You don't really want to be shooting on the move with this thing, because it already has a large balloon. I mean, this thing has crappy accuracy, so you don't want to be moving and shooting with it, plus with the reload. So yeah, I don't really care too much about smooth ride on this heavy tank. Controlled impact, yeah, it can help if you want to do some ramming damage, but obviously repairs is mandatory on all crew members. I know I don't have it on mine, but that's because I'm doing like a different type of loadout. I got repairs on this one right here, then I got the view range. The skills suck on this radio operator, so I don't care about them. For loader skills, you can see I got repairs also on there, but I also got adrenaline rush. It's helped a little bit if you ever have low HP, and safe stowage, so my ammo rack won't get destroyed. So yeah, pretty much well balanced crew right here. Obviously I still need repairs on it and stuff, still need to grind them more, but pretty happy with it. Performs good with this loadout, so you guys could try my loadout or just do the regular all repairs and whatnot. I like having BIA first, if you haven't noticed, brothers in arms, because obviously it gives me that boost to shoot faster. It just makes the whole tank feel overall better for me. So yeah, it's pretty much like another ventilation, but I think it's 2.5% instead of 5. So I would say that's also mandatory if you want to have better reload, better aiming time. Alright guys, I don't know what else really to talk about. Let me just talk about how it plays real quick. So this thing, like I said, I was pretty much saying about it before, how it plays. How it plays, pretty much you want to shoot at your target and then take cover and then just derp them again, because this thing, I mean, it's a heavy tank but it doesn't have that much armor. You don't really want to get shot back. It has a good amount of hit points, but I mean, if possible, try to avoid getting shot, because you want to keep this tank in the game as long, I mean, this gun in play in the game as long as possible, because this thing does massive damage. And you're gonna notice people want to try to kill you if you're in this tank, because you got this massive gun, and you know, no one wants to get one shotted, no one wants to take massive amounts of damage, lose crew members, you know, get destroyed internally from the tank, the modules or whatever. So yeah, you know, this thing, they want to take you out quick. So what you got to do is you got to just get behind a building or a rock. You want to derp at someone and you want to take cover right away. You don't want to stand and bang. This is not a stand and bang. This is not a brawler type of tank. This is keep a little bit of a distance. Shoot them, keep your distance. Try to angle. If you're standing and banging, try to angle as, you know, as good as possible. Try to be like that. Something a good 45-degree angle if you can, so they can bounce. But I mean, most likely you're gonna die a stand and bang type of fight, because this thing just doesn't have the reload for it, and most likely the other tank has like a 5, 6, 7 second reload, and they're just gonna tear you apart. They're gonna shoot you like 2 or 3 times, and then finally when you reload, they're gonna run and hide or something, you know. So yeah, don't try to stand and bang too much with this tank. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, this thing's a beast. Huge gun, probably the biggest gun at tier 6. I think the new Japanese heavy tank, the tier 6, the O.I, has like the same gun or something. But yeah, this thing is still the original, the classic, with this big old gun, you know, for regular tanks, not arties. The biggest gun in the game for a tier 6. Yeah, beast with the 152mm. If you want to use that 107mm and have a nice reload and stuff, but no, this thing, it shines with the 152mm, guys. So I would recommend staying with the 152, and obviously just loading pure HE shells to do massive amounts of damage. But yeah guys, I think I talked enough about the tank. Let me just go over real quick about the pros and cons according to the wiki on World of Tanks website. Just real quick, let me just tell you about the pros and cons that they list. They say that 152mm can do one shot, you know, do massive damage, cripple multiple modules, and damage through any armor. Near misses damage too. So this thing, even if you a little bit miss, you shoot on the ground, this thing will still do a little bit of damage because of the explosion radius, as you can see right here. We got a burst radius, so this thing's just godly with this gun. I don't know, they say it has decent frontal armor and side armor. I mean, it does have, I guess, good side armor, but I'd say it's still really not that good. If you're top tier, then I guess it could be alright, but tier 7 and 8, you're just gonna get destroyed, so you gotta watch out for that. And they also say that the 107 has a higher rate of fire, which I was already talking about, and it's useful against any tier enemies. This is very true right here that they list as a pro, because this thing, you know, will cripple the tier 8 tanks also. I mean, this thing, you're not scared if you're in a higher tier match in this tank because of its gun. If you have the 107mm, you'd be scared, because you don't have the gun that scares them. And obviously, look at that fear factor. That's what they list down here, and this thing does have a fear factor. No one wants to be, look at that, few enemies want to be first around a corner if they know a locked and loaded KV-2 is waiting for them. That's true, because if you see KV-2, you're like, oh fuck, like, he's gonna shoot me. And pretty much most likely, if he sees you, he's gonna shoot you, and he's gonna take cover. So that's what I'm saying, you gotta watch out for these type of tanks. The cons, obviously, the long reload, long aim time, slow shell velocity, slow turret and hull traverse. It's very big, so it's easy to spot and whatnot, very easy to hit. And the damage is inconsistent. You can do anything from 100 to 1,000 damage. Yeah, that's pretty much true. But like I said, most likely you're gonna be doing 300 damage, average, I would say. Yeah. They also put 107 lakhs damage of the 152. Yep. Poor AP penetration on 152mm. Yeah, we already talked about, don't be using AP shells, only use HE. And that's all they put for the cons. They also got this big paragraph about performance. You guys could read more into that if you guys want to, but yeah guys, I think that's going to be it for the review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll be making more tank reviews, gameplay, and all that good stuff. So yeah, subscribe if you want, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.